Welcome, guys. So every Monday night we have our team Zoom, which even throughout summer we will continue to do these. So I think that it is a great way to just bring education and ideas for things that people might be interested in learning some healthy alternatives and options. And our goal is to continue to provide resources. And we hope you guys, keep inviting people. And each week we try to provide something we feel is relevant. And tonight's is very relevant to the times because it's finally getting warmer. So our topic is summer essentials, focusing on as it's starting to warm up, some ideas and tips of just some things you might not be aware of and some ideas of things you might be able to start to incorporate into what you're doing. We're also going to have Karen sharing with us tonight a little bit on a topic that we also feel is relevant, and that is actually people that have to wear masks all day, that they're having some issues with their skin. And with summer coming, that's also another thing to be thinking about. We're in different times, so we just like to provide, I said, education that's relevant. So, all right, guys, I'm Amanda Villarreal, and we have, really been just trying to get more education out there. And I think that right now more than ever, that I feel like I'm a broken record. If you guys see my Facebook posts, I just did one on this yesterday, but I feel like there is just very little education out there right now on what people need to be doing to build up their immunity besides washing their hands and staying 6 feet away from each other. So, when we look at overall health, this means we also need to be looking at things beyond just those basic concepts they're telling us, but also looking at things we can do to improve our immunity, to look at how we can also get rid of chemicals and be proactive for our health instead of waiting until we're sick. So even some of the tips we're giving you here, I think you'll find that, granted, this is not specific to immunity tonight, that these are all things we should be thinking about. So first thing we're going to start out with is actually sunblock. And we need to start considering options of now as it's starting to get warmer and looking at some of the chemicals that are in over-the-counter sunscreens. I know many of us are big fans of the sprays because they're easy, especially with kids. They're very convenient to be able to spray. And, think about that, though, if you're accidentally inhaling sunscreen that's being sprayed, the effects that could be having inside our body. And remember, anything that goes on our skin is absorbed within 15 seconds. So it doesn't just stay topical, it is actually going into your body. So we just want to note those chemicals. And if we can find something that's safer, that can do the same job, why not? So this is a product that we use for our entire family. This is actually the Shaklee sunscreen. It's called MQCell, and it has an SPF of 30. And if you guys have heard, you should use SPF 50, it has more coverage. As long as it's broad spectrum, that is what is most important. So generally a 30 is going to be enough coverage. And it doesn't matter, the higher the coverage, a lot of times actually means more chemicals. What's more important is that you apply it regularly. So look at your sunscreens, note the chemicals that are in there. Love that when you use a sunscreen like this one, when you rub it on, you don't see it. It's not going to create this, if you guys are familiar with some of the very thick sunscreens and you look like a ghost after you put it on, it just kind of sits there, where this is like a lotion. So I love that it's very just, it's mild, but it works, and it's great for all different skin types. So, and also just mentioning here really quickly, because there was a new updated version of this SPF that's specific for your face. And this is a youth product that is, again, I really have been happy with the products, both the sunscreen that I just showed you and this one, that I tend to burn very easily. And when I sweat, I will burn even more. So to keep something on can be very difficult. And I have found both that last one and this one that I have very good luck with not burning. My nose is my number one spot. And as long as this is on, I don't have to worry about it. But again, think of using products that don't have the residues, that are actually providing moisture while they're protecting you, and both UVA and UVB protection. And this is actually, if you look at what is in a lot of your dermatologists will recommend using zinc oxide for your sunscreen. So this has a very high amount of zinc oxide, which is hard to find. So again, it's a mineral-based way to prevent getting burned. So just to, again, quickly give you some more ideas here. And, as I mentioned, we're still talking about skin here. And this is a totally different change of, I think that we've ever had to talk about in the past. But some of you do work full time and you have to wear masks all day, that they are saying this is more and more of an issue for people in their skin and also with their breathing. So Karen offered to share some tips for us tonight because she works with people regularly and has to wear one of these all day and has some knowledge in this area. So Karen, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. So just to kind of do a little bit more off the skin or the sun care, because I'm a hearing care practitioner and I'm very close to patients and obviously look in their ears. And I really see a lot of skin cancer on ears. It's sometimes they don't even realize they've got a spot to be concerned about. So I recommend quite often if somebody gets it looked at, because I can't diagnose it, but I can highly recommend that they see somebody. So really take conscious effort to put the sunscreen on your ears as well, because they're very exposed to the skin, just for just for good health care for your face. Mask, I've been wearing masks since I went to work, and with the heat, sometimes my environments that I'm in it's very warm, hard to breathe. My face has kind of taken a different direction of being very dry, and that it burns a lot. And what I'm finding it's helpful, and I've heard a lot of dermatologists speak on this too, that if you have a chance, or maybe make it an extra little effort with taking or having at work maybe some of our cleanser and toner and the moisturizer. So Amanda, I'm glad you brought up the moisturizer, because I think that's a great option to be able to maybe sometime during the day, because obviously if you're perspiring at all, and the mask is very notorious for allowing that to happen, your face is going to get really chafed, and it does cause an effect. And then for myself, I pull it down a lot, and it's on all day, but it down around even your neck and your chin to be protective of that as well. At 62 years old, I don't want to be having damaged skin now. I've worked really hard to keep it pretty nice looking. So in the mask, be very careful, because as much as you try not to have to touch it, I do have to touch mine, and sanitizer's always on my hands all day, but try to really be conscious of what kind of mask you're using. I've tried the homemade ones, and I tend to go to the ones like you see the picture of now, that's the surgical type. Those actually allow breathing better. If you don't have access to them, you probably could find them online. They're disposable, but if you're not going to use a disposable, please wash your mask often. I would really want to stress that, just for the health of your face, because anything you're coming in contact with is right there in your nose. So I think that's all I had to share, but just take care of yourself and be safe, and that's it.
Perfect. Thanks, Karen. That's great. And yes, you mentioned about washing your mask. That is another thing to be thinking about, guys, when we're talking about, again, immunity and your chemicals. Make sure you're not using heavy fabric softeners and chemical-filled laundry detergents, because you're breathing that in all day. It's right over your face. So that is just another good thing to be noting. If people are complaining, they're getting a lot of colds and might be respiratory. It's not COVID. It could just be that they're having some type of asthma and trigger to their breathing from that mask that they're wearing. And I will also add, as a side note here, guys, just I finished a couple weeks ago on an online fitness conference, and there were several different presenters that were talking about the harmful effects in wearing masks when you exercise. Don't do it. It's dangerous. So if you have to have a gym that's telling you have to wear a mask, I will advise you not to go to that gym. I believe that it's not safe. So
Amanda, do you have a link to that research? Because we're having that struggle right now with returning Grace to the rink, and I've just said no, she cannot skate with a mask on, and there are some coaches that are very fearful.
Yeah.
So do you have any, like, a link to research?
They didn't give specific links, but I am sure if you Google some things, Jennifer, there's plenty of things out there saying breathing in too much CO2, heart rate goes up, your respiration's it's not a good match. So yeah, I think you can find plenty of things. But yeah, and it actually surprises me that they're even encouraging that in some places, because to me it's common sense, but I
know.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard this too, but I think it was actually in China. They were requiring kids to wear them in school. And they actually had a couple of kids that died
Yeah,
during gym class from,
died.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's scary. And they don't always realize that they're, they're getting lightheaded. They don't know those symptoms. So that's just, again, total off track here, but wanted to mention that. So, all right, guys, let's give some more tips here. So really fast, this is probably one of our most go-to products. If you're not familiar with Basic Age 2, it is something everybody should have. It is the most least expensive cleaning product you will ever find. It costs about $10 for the concentrate, and it will last you forever. But the uses of this, everything from cleaning your grills, and this is not a Shaklee recommended recipe you see here, but you can use it for bug repellent, for a weed killer. We use it to wash our cars with. We use it basically anything we have to wash with or do, we always go to our Basic Age 2. So for the summer, this is great. You guys like to camp, you could take this with you and use it for everything from washing your dishes to taking a shower with it. And it's all environmental friendly. People use it to wash their boats and it won't harm the wildlife. I mean, it just has so many uses to it that I think a lot of you on here would probably say the same thing. We wash our fruits and vegetables with it. It just is like never-ending uses, and it's non-toxic. And again, it's a concentrate, so it lasts forever. So just to make sure we know summertime, this is a really great product to keep around. And again, I love the fact that your kids can use it. You don't have to be concerned about, things that are around you when you are cleaning compared to many other products out there. So also, guys, we're looking at hydration. This is a huge topic that, I think everybody knows they're supposed to drink water. It's not rocket science, but we still tend to neglect maybe doing it enough. And as we're sweating more, we sometimes don't realize the importance of electrolytes and finding a balanced version of electrolytes. And you can see here on the screen, the Hydrate Plus, we are huge fans of that. And if you're comparing it to something like a Gatorade, it's really just, I think, crucial to note that you don't need those artificial colors, the preservatives, the fact that it doesn't have the right combination of electrolytes. It has been proven. The Gatorades and Powerades actually most of the time make you more thirsty because they know how to put the electrolytes in there that actually trigger your thirst mechanism instead of actually creating a rehydration effect in your body. So this is just a great alternative. And if you look at the cost, it's pretty comparative to what you'll see in the stores. And we love to make popsicles. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before, but I just made these, so I thought I would show you guys. Our kids are famous for losing those darn popsicle holders. So I ordered these on Amazon. They're like the freeze pops that you can buy, that are just the plastic. It's a BPA. I think there was 130 of them for like $9. So I mix up the Hydrate in there and make it into popsicles. So there's lemon lime or there's orange. So again, these are just great to even throw into, if your kids are going somewhere to grab, put them in the cooler. They'll actually keep your food cold for a little bit. And then when you want to have them, they work really well. And we've had good luck with them because they don't accidentally come open, which some of the brands we found. So these are called Frozip, if you would like to know the brand for ordering off Amazon. So quick little tip, make popsicles with them, guys. Again, it's just a great way to have something that doesn't have all of the things that we don't want in there. So we are just, big fans of always trying to come up with more alternatives. And I think it's funny of how many things are out there, but a lot of times people are just not aware of all the options that are available. So, all right, guys, this is another really great thing to mention, a very inexpensive option to keep around just when needed. This isn't something we oftentimes need every day, but it is perfect if you get sunburn, if you have a, mosquito bite, you get stung by a bee. It works very quickly to help with releasing the sting. I actually use this on Arthur right now for his diaper rash cream. This is what we use. So it is a very gentle and mild formula. This has been around for, I think, almost 40 years. But again, it's cost effective. I found that a lot of people, when they look at options out there for a mentholated cream, it's very, very expensive. So for about $9, this is a great one to keep on hand. And again, it's great for dry skin too. So if you notice, during the summer, your feet, your hands, your elbows, those types of things. So, all right, guys. So also just wanted to throw out there, we have some exciting new announcements coming for the Life Shakes. And I know a lot of you probably use the Life Shakes. They're all going to be different. And I'll talk about that in a second here. But these are great ideas for summertime, guys. Make up these protein balls, throw them in the freezer and grab them when you got to go somewhere. Somebody like you, Clark, playing in a basketball tournament, these are perfect. Put them in the freezer, pull them out, and they will stay with you and don't have to worry about being refrigerated. So they are great sources of protein, and it will help you to stay fuller longer because it's not a fast-acting, quick sugar that's going to be released, and then you crash. So love protein bites. There's thousands of recipes out there. I just tried this one yesterday. I thought it was kind of fun, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So feel free to screenshot it. Very easy to make. If you don't know what, for example, cocoa nibs are, you could skip them, but they add a great crunch, and it's a non-sugar, healthy option of an antioxidant. So again, just some different ideas to share there for summertime recipes. So if we had to pick here, top 10 essentials for summer, I tried to narrow it down, and we talked about sunscreen, we talked about hydration, we talked a little bit about the protein, making sure we have our vitamins as our staple, and I just kind of wrote down here some things that I thought might be helpful. The very last thing you see here is that Vital E. Okay, so if you're taking the Vitalizer, it already has the Vital E in there. But just like during winter time, guys, and I said this at the beginning, but we need to continue to be proactive, guys, in sharing with other people. You know, we've got to get people at least taking a multivitamin. It covers their bases for the vitamins and minerals. And, you know, deficiencies are one of the biggest reasons we start to notice symptoms. So if we can help cover the basis by taking a multivitamin, you're going to notice a lot of times people's symptoms start to disappear just by getting a great multivitamin. So want to make sure we just, again, highlight that Vital E. Men, women, everybody should be on a multi. So that's your most basic option to look at. And again, I think during summer times, people tend to slack off because they're just outside more and they think that, you know, they're moving more. But when you're more active, you actually need more nutrition. So, you know, it's kind of, you got to think of being counteractive, of being moving more and sweating more to help replace it with things like electrolytes and having your multivitamins available. So, and also, I wanted to just highlight too that a lot of times people are swimming a lot, and some of the issues with, especially kids, I would say, their shampoo and conditioners, finding things that are very, you know, we put that conditioner, actually, it's actually a new formula now, but in like Scarlett's hair before she goes swimming to help with tangling. So, you know, having good shampoos and conditioners. And again, we're talking about getting rid of chemicals, so a chemical-free option. The tea you see in the middle, I'm sure some of you on here want to jump in because you all love this one, but here's a great idea for summertime, guys. These little teas, they come in these little packets, which are great because they're so convenient. But you can also make these into different combinations for summer. Like we really like this pomegranate one with that hydrate, and put ice in there, the orange hydrate in particularly. And, you know, throw ice in there. It's a great, almost like fruit punch. The green one, this is really good to like mix with lemonade to make an Arnold Palmer. So, you know, think of summer drinks that you want something that's different than water, but still has some good nutrition in there. These little tea packets are just, again, great to keep around. Love the convenience of them too. So, all right, guys, over here on the next side, you see there a little bit of the lotion. So we talked about the mentholated lotion, but there's also a hand and body lotion. And I really like this one. This is very like, Art actually puts this on his head. This is what he used for his moisturizer, but it doesn't have a strong smell to it. It's very light. But again, if you're reading on the screen there, guys, the fact that it doesn't have all the things that we don't need chemical-wise for our skin. I mentioned this a lot in our youth presentations and talking about skincare, that they say the average woman to get ready in the morning puts on over 250 chemicals. And you think about that, we have no idea what those combinations of chemicals are doing, guys. So I just think that with everything going on, the more steps we can take to try to think about options is great. So this soap doesn't, or this lotion does not have anything in there it shouldn't. It's paraben free, you know, all the things, and it works great, which is sometimes hard to find, is lotions that actually work. So I wanted to mention that. The little SPF, there is actually an Emfucel lip balm. A lot of people don't know Shaklee has a lip balm. It's old. It's been around a long time. I have to admit, I'm personally not like one that loves that. It doesn't taste like anything. It's just basically an SPF of 15, and it has properties of protection in it. It has cocoa butter and shea butter in it. So, you know, it's a great option to have around. Snack bars, I'm a huge fan. Convenience, guys. Again, I think in summertime, even more than wintertime, you need things you can grab and go because you want to be outside and you want to be doing things. So we keep things like this in our, you know, in our car, in our backpacks, just so we always have options that are, you know, again, low glycemic, helping to keep us fuller longer and tiding us over before our next meal, that it's great to know about these types of snack bars. Compared to granola bars tend to have lots of sugar in them. And if you read the ingredients, it's probably half the back of the box is all the ingredients in there. And that's, again, not what we should be going for when we're looking at building health. We talked about the, again, sunscreen options. Same up here was the body one. This will be your face one. And we talked about our multivitamin here. So last thing I want to mention here really fast is our smoothie school. So we have our announcements coming for the new Life Shakes, which there's going to be a corporate wide basically announcement here on Wednesday night. For some of you guys that want to tune in, you are welcome to join this live. Okay, it's going to be more for members and distributors. That this is going to be shared Wednesday night from Shackley at 8 o'clock. But we are actually going to do on Thursday a smoothie school. It's all on Facebook. All you got to do is say you're going. I invited probably some of you already, but I might have missed you. So go look this up on Facebook and you just view the post as you choose. And then we're going to go live at some point and just make all the announcements that we learn from Wednesday night about the new Life Shakes. So I think everybody's going to be happy. These new Life Shakes are supposed to be the best tasting shakes on the market. The old ones are no longer there, guys. So you guys that all use Life Shakes, they're not the same anymore. So, but it's supposed to be a positive thing. So just want to make sure that, again, you guys all learn about it. So don't forget to take part in that. Last thing here, guys, really quickly, we have this group that is still going. So some of you guys looking for maybe some opportunities during the summer to bring in some income, learn about the Shackley Stimulus Plan. You just want to read some stories. We've been posting things in here regularly just to kind of help give you a little more insight into Shackley and the actual business opportunity. So this is also a Facebook group. You're welcome to hop on in there and join us at any time. So, all right, guys, that was all I had for our Summer Essentials. Do you guys have any questions or anything you would like to add here a minute? We're just at over 20 minutes. So
Have you tried the shakes, Amanda?
it's funny, but I have them, but no, because I'm waiting because I want to do it when everybody else can do it.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
they're sitting on my table. I'm like, I really should just open them, but for some reason I'm waiting.
That's funny.
Well, isn't the French vanilla the same as it was in this fall
I think
or
it's
winter?
supposed to be, but I haven't compared, Karen, so I really can't say. I'm not 100% positive. But the other chocolate was called dark chocolate, so it makes me think that this
Right.
is different. So I'm not sure, but everybody, they're great. So
Oh, I'm so excited to try them.
yeah, me too. So I think this will be a good change. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, again, thanks for joining us. We're going to hang out here. You guys are welcome to stay on. I'm only going to probably spend about 10 minutes here just going over a few different business things here real quick. So, all right, guys, you guys, again, thanks for joining us. You guys that are going to hang up here. But remember, every Monday night, hopefully we will